Welcome to the Georgia-Florida Baseball Show. This show is brought to you by Georgia Showcase Baseball and its owner, Ben House. Ben, how we doing?
Doing good, KP. How are you?
I'm good. Today, we are going to talk about marketing and baseball and father and son relationships and everything. This is going to be a neat episode. I have Lee Bailey and Langston here with me. Lee, how we doing?
Hey, I'm well. How you doing? Appreciate you having us on.
Oh, no, thank you for coming on. When Ben told me you guys' story, I got inquisitive. I wanted to hear how it works and all that, and I just want to talk to Langston a little bit. Langston, how you doing? Good. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start out talking a little bit about your coaching and Georgia Showcase Baseball and that parent son relationship and the growth, how that works. And then we're going to move into Mako Skins, which is, Langston, that's your apparel line, correct? Yes. Okay. And we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We have a unique scenario. We have a very young entrepreneur here with his father, and they're going to guide us through that process. And we're going to talk about all of that and more after this.
This is the Georgia-Florida Baseball Show, brought to you by Coach Ben House with Kevin Perkins from Surrounded by Sports.
And we are back. I want to first real quickly thank Arden's Garden and thank our other sponsor, Towns Davis and Associates LLC, both of which have been great coming on board. There'll be a little bit of a break later on where you'll see what they're all about and all that. And let's dive into, at first, before we get into Mako Skins and 12 printing?
Yeah, 12 printing. It's 12 is actually my birthday, so that's how the name came about.
Nice and easy.
Yep.
That's why you're going to help us with marketing here in a little bit. You're going to advise us a little bit towards the end of this. Okay.
I'll do my best.
When you decided to get into baseball, why was that, Lee?
Well, I originally started playing ball as a kid around his age, actually.
Okay.
Around 7, 8 years old. Well, he's 9 now.
Correct.
And it was truly a game of passion for me. Like I learned the game and I became a nerd of the game. Like I love the intricacies of the game and having to use your brain. And I grew up playing ball, middle school, high school. Didn't get the opportunity to go to college. Had a pretty significant arm injury in high school. So that kind of, stunted my aspirations. But I coached a little bit after high school, went back and gave back at my old high school, Banneker High School, for like a season just to kind of, help them along the way with things and pass off the knowledge that, that I was able to gain. And then, baseball kind of fell off of the radar for me for a little while. Just, early adulthood, working and trying to, carve my life path and everything. And then, in my 30s, early 30s, here comes this guy. So,
right.
And, even though I played a little bit of, adult league ball and, softball and things like that, the passion for the game didn't truly come back for me until, I introduced Langston to the game and he just took it and ran with it. And now, here we are, full on travel ball parent. Me and my wife, we try to tag team things because my daughter's in competition cheer. So we do a lot of dividing and conquering.
Right. Well, that's another aspect we're going to get into in a minute, is how you managed to get all of this done and how your unique scenario kind of allows for that in some ways. What made you decide to coach? Did you want to be a part of the development of Langston's enjoyment of the game?
Absolutely. Being a part of his development, and then originally starting out, it was a group of friends that that I grew up with, and they all coached their boys, and we kind of came together and kind of made a team when they were around 6 and 7 years old. And it was weird because we all had kids around the same time, so all of our boys are the same age. So that made it an easy transition because Langston started a little bit later than his friends did. Like most of them, they've been playing ball since 3, 4 years old. Langston started when he was 6.
Okay.
So I ingrained myself in that, in that group and kind of learn learned a little bit of how to coach, I guess, right? Just
Right.
kind of watching and seeing. And there are just so many resources out now compared to what it was, 20, 30 years ago. Where it's like if you pay attention, you can kind of get a good grasp on things.
Right. Now, Langston, do you enjoy the process of practicing with your father and having him there and all that?
Yes, I enjoy it a lot. I like working in baseball a lot too.
Now, you guys do Georgia Showcase baseball, and Langston, do you do a lot of the workouts at night? The individual workouts with the kind of a one-on-one, two-on-two coaching scenario?
Yes.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes.
You want to talk about who you work with?
So I mostly work with Coach Jamar and Coach Ben. I work with Coach Jamar mostly with my hitting and Coach Ben with my pitching.
Yeah. Now, Ben told me you're pretty good. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. You can hit it?
Yes.
Yeah. How much do you work on pitching? Do you know, like, roundabout, is it one night a week, 2 nights a week?
Mostly like 3 nights a week.
3 nights a week you work on pitching and hitting. Okay. Ben, how important is it to get the level of buy-in you get from a Lee Bailey and a Langston at Georgia Showcase baseball?
Well, it's very important because of the level of competition that we're playing in travel ball. And a lot of parents that are coming out of the rec situation, they tend to not understand how important the training piece is. I know Lee, came out of Fayette County, but he also played travel ball as well. So he kind of understood the dynamics of having to practice and have individual training. And he comes in here and works religiously with Langston, and you can tell the difference in those kids that are coming in here to train from night and day. And I wish majority of the parents in the program, I wish 100% of them would invest in their kids to get that individual training, because practice is important, but training is mandatory for these kids to be able to go to that next level and to be able to understand what they're doing on a day-to-day basis as far as making adjustments.
Right. Baseball is one of those odd games too, where you're on a team, but you field the ball by yourself. You're up to bat by you get individual spotlights on you throughout the ball game. You bat by yourself. If you're on the mound, you're by yourself on the mound. They have to make plays for you. So the individual workouts are, like you said, just as important, if not more so, than being there with the whole club as far as your significant talent goes.
Yeah, well, with the younger kids, I think the parents see the glamour in the team aspect of it, which is good. But as they get older, it becomes more individualized to where kids have to actually show their skill sets.
Okay.
Trying to get recruited and things like that. So they have to be polished on individual things. If they're pitchers, they have to be fundamentally sound. If they're hitting, they have to be fundamentally sound for these recruiters and some of these scouts to actually come look at these kids. They're not going to just come look at a kid that's just raw, unless they're throwing 95 miles an hour. That you can kind of teach mechanics at that point, but. Just an average kid, with average skills, they need individual lessons,
right,
for them to be able to understand what they're doing.
Right. Hey, that's great. Now we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to transition into what Lee just showed us behind him, which is the Mako Skins brand and all that neat stuff, and the process and how you and Langston came up with it. Okay, we're going to do that right after this. We're back. Thank you to Arden's Garden. Thank you to Towns Davis and Associates LLC, winning millions, fighting for you. Also, Arden's Garden, I have to say, it's when I do stay in Atlanta, there's one a block away from where I go, and I love that place. I love that place. It is your premier place for juices, smoothies, and plant-based foods. Now, let's get into Lee Bailey. Lee, how long have you been doing 1212 printing?
1212 printing was established in 2010.
Okay.
Started off as a little side hustle.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And then it just eventually grew into what it is today, where, it's a full service print shop, custom print shop, everything from t-shirts to embroidery, and large format printing like banners and things of that nature.
Okay.
It's a day in and day out, that's my regular everyday work now. So we've been in the actual store location for five coming up on 5 years. On April 7th will be our 5-year anniversary here.
Right. Now, you said it was your side hustle. What made you think that was something you were going to do on the side to make money? And then is it kind of neat that it grew into more?
It is neat. It grew into more. I got into it originally. I was always kind of artsy as it was.
Okay.
As just even in high school, some of my friends in school would tell you that I was the one that would go out on the football field and actually paint the big, huge Trojan head in the middle of the field.
Right.
So, just coming from that side of the world, art and creativity has always been my forte. Sometimes it's a gift and a curse because I work in the gray a lot, and that's just my creative mind.
Right.
And then eventually it just kept growing, and adding on different services just from seeing the needs of potential clients and potential clients. And then ultimately it grew into what it is today, where I left a position, a regular paying job, to where I felt like this would be more suitable for me. And it's definitely been a blessing because it gives me the time to really be able to invest in Langston and even my daughter on the cheer side of the world, mainly with my time, because I try to get out of here early on days when I have things to do, and I have that flexibility to be able to.
Right. If you got something you need to do in the afternoon, you can get more done in the morning or things like
Right.
that. Being your own boss, having your own business. Langston, do you share some of your father's artistic abilities there?
No, I don't really
You
like
draw,
art.
huh?
Do you draw?
Sometimes.
Lee, when did you start to realize that drawing and things like that were something you were into?
I was his age actually. My mom, still has old sketch pads of mine of me drawing things. And then even on the athletic side of the world, me and my friends, when we would go outside and play in the summertime, we would always mimic like the different home run derbies and make our own brackets, and would draw our own brackets and everything, and save toilet tissue rolls from everybody's house so we could put foil on them and make our own trophies for the winners and everything. So
Yeah.
so just from that creativity and imagination is I think where a lot of my personal successes in business comes from.
Now, guys, how did Mako skins come into play?
I'll let Langston have this one.
Langston.
Okay, so
Talking to the
like
camera.
I really didn't like other batting gloves. Like I didn't like Bruce Bolts. I didn't like those type of batting gloves. And so like I came up with I wanted to have like a shark name of my batting gloves, and I'm really fast, so I decided to name Mako skins, and then I came up with the name Mako skins because the Mako shark is the fastest shark in the world.
Right. Now you're into sharks, is that right?
Yes.
Right. Right. And now, who came up with the idea that your A in Mako was going to be a shark fin?
It was on my dad to make it the shark fin.
Now, was this a discussion you guys had back and forth? Like, go ahead.
So yeah, so basically Langston came up with the idea, and and basically we just bounced a bunch of names off the wall, just trying to see what sticks and what we like. And it kind of had our own little internal focus group, family and friends.
Right.
So Mako skin stuck. And
Right.
and when I just started, my normal process is I'll Google things and I'll look at things and just get my inspiration. And I said, you know what, shark fin would be a cool A. And even on the 12-12 printing side of the world, like whenever I'm dealing with new clients that's wanting logos and things created, I get a lot of people that come with wanting these big, elaborate, fancy logos, and I always give them the Delta Airlines logo, right? And I say, look at that logo. You see the little triangle. Does it have to say Delta Airlines for you to know that you're about to book a ticket on Delta? And the answer is always, no, I know that's Delta. And I said, because that is a logo that people will remember. And that's kind of how I came up with the actual image and the what is now the actual original logo of Meko Skins, is we want to be able to use that shark fin on its own. Of course, right now, if we slapping on something, we might not necessarily have the visibility for people to just know, but ultimately that is the goal, is for that shark fin to be seen on custom uniforms, hats, and then also, as you see behind me, it's the main logo on the palm of the gloves.
Right. Well, the cool thing
Kevin.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say he designed a World Series jersey for our 9U team. So I think everyone in the program, I know the 11U team is voting on the designs. I think he came up with like maybe 3 or 4 cool designs that he came up with, and it's pretty cool. We'll put it out soon. Once everybody votes on it, and we're gonna put it out there and just let the world see it. And also, he created this hat he makes all of our hats as well. So he's done a world of good with our program, and it's been a pleasure having them a part of us, what we do here.
Right. Well, that's the beauty of it, right? It's been a merger.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
yes.
it's definitely a great business friendship. Because I don't look at Ben Howes as just a coach or owner of an organization. Like, I can reach out to him and we always bounce ideas off each other. Even through our certain business issues and crises that we may come across, we always kind of talk each other through the different things and give different ideas and perspectives and truly help each other out. And that's a relationship that I'm very much grateful for.
Right. And now, Langston, you said some of your teammates, they know your logo, right?
Mm-hmm. Some of them, not all of them.
Your teammates know it.
Okay.
No, not all of them. Justin thinks it's Micah for some reason.
Oh.
Well, here was the neat thing, right? Is I came to your shop on, I think, last Thursday or Friday, and I walked in the door and I saw your hat and I thought, man, that looks cool. I wonder what that is. And that's a pretty neat place to start. Absolutely. Now, what all do you carry? You carry batting gloves, you carry golf gloves, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I carry arm sleeve too.
Yep. So we have some obviously we have everything started with batting gloves.
Right.
And then we moved into some accessories, some arm sleeves. Naturally with, me being able to internally produce some items. Right. We carry hats, like I said, arm sleeves, and golf clubs. Well, not clubs, but golf gloves for sure.
Right. Well, so I think one thing that's neat, right, is, and I want to say, if I'm right about this, when your son Jamie Ben started to develop, you started realizing a need for Georgia Showcase baseball. Is that right?
Yeah. It's sort of the same thing that Lee's starting to is visualizing. When Jamie was younger, when I started Georgia Showcase Baseball, we didn't have an indoor facility. We would work outside, and we would rent different facilities that was in the area. And I decided with all the money that I'm wasting going to other people's facilities and buildings, why not invest in my own? Right. So that my son can have a place, and I'm thinking way ahead. So not only will he have a place to work out when he's 11 and 12 years old, but one day when he's in high school, when he's in college, or if he reaches his ultimate goal, being a professional baseball player, he would always have a place to come back home and work out.
Right.
without having to go to someone else's facility. So, and that's, it's leaving a legacy. And that's one of the things that I think is very important, that, young entrepreneurs, with what Lee's doing, is he's leaving a legacy for his son, something that he can grow into. And that's very important. And that was one of the reasons that, that I, have a fond relationship with him, is because we kind of see this, we kind of have the same visions in mind. So, yeah.
Right. Now, Lee, to me, you hear people talk about all the time, right? I'm building this legacy for my child. But what they're doing really is they're working by themselves, building equity so that they can hand something over to somebody that they have to learn later on how to do. Now, here we have an entrepreneur that's 9 years old, and
Right.
you're making discussions with him, and you're having, literally, if you're deciding what a logo is, that's a business decision.
Right.
And you guys are interacting in that way already, and you're able to mix your fun time with your work time, with your family time, in both playing ball and your business. That seems like a really neat place to be in life.
You make that sound easy.
It doesn't seem easy to me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a struggle often. Just trying to make time to be everywhere.
Right.
And then also, our family, like we're benefit of having a very, very good support system, what I call our village. And so it's always somebody, whether it be my mom, neighbors that we're really close with, where they have similar age kids, or even other parents on the team. It helps out a lot to have that support system, business owner or not. Just when you have young kids, I mean, it's just a lot, and it's super, and it's very important that you're able to comfortably lean on that village,
100%.
as they can lean on you as well.
Man, I tell you what, I think that's a really good spot to end this thing on, because it does take a village. It takes everybody in your circle, whether it be Coach House, or it be your grandmother, or be Langston's grandmother, or or whoever. It takes us all to progress, to move the ball forward, and I appreciate what you're doing. I thank you very much. Do me a favor and tell people where they can get in touch with you on Instagram, and for both your businesses, for Langston, if you want to tell us, and then also yours, Lee, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So for all your printing and embroidery needs, you can reach out to me at 1212 Printing and Design. We're located at 824 Morrow Road in Forest Park, Georgia. If you would like to visit our page and check out some of the work that we do, the Instagram is at 1212 Printing. That first 12 is the numbers, the second 12 is spelled out. So it's 12 TWELVE Printing. Phone number 678-515-3350. And then also, if you would love to shop with Langston, get you some gloves or check out our inventory. Also check out some videos that we always post of him wearing his stuff and teammates. The Instagram is Mako Skins, MAKOSKNZ. And you can visit the website, same spelling, makoskins.com.
Awesome. Ben, how do we get in touch with you?
My direct number is 678-469-5994. And my email address is showcasebaseball.georgia, spelled out, at gmail.com. And my Instagram is showcase_baseballGA.
Right. Now, folks, you've watched this episode, you've enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and support our sponsors, Arden's Garden and Towns Davis and Associates LLC. And please come back and watch us more. Check out the videos Ben puts on his Instagram. You get to see these guys. I saw an inside the park home run the other day.
Yeah, that was one of my, I think it was the 8U. Eli Lynn hit smashed it down the left field line. Yeah, so yeah, he got into one.
Yeah. All right, great. Langston, thank you very much for coming on and sharing your time with us.
You're welcome.
All right. Lee, thank you as well. Ben,
Thank
as
you.
always.
All right, great job, KP. Thanks,
Appreciate
Langston.
that.
Thanks, Lee.
All right, Coach. We'll see you.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take good care now. Thank you.
All right.